Hello and welcome to World Talks on TVP World. I'm Anna Kalczyńska. The future of artificial intelligence is constantly in the spotlight, especially with the Vatican stepping into the critical conversation. In his inaugural address, Pope Leo XIV issued a powerful warning. AI must not be allowed to play God. He firmly called on the confrontation of the unchecked rise of AI, emphasizing the significant risk it poses to human dignity, justice, and labor. While acknowledging its vast potential, he insisted that without proper accountability, AI will inevitably slip beyond our control. Joining us to discuss the time left before AI redefines us is Tomáš Halász, co-founder and CEO of Trollwall AI. Hello and good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
So, Pope, as an ethicist and a philosopher, sees obviously progress from another perspective. Why does he perceive AI as a major danger for humanity?
I think I totally agree with Pope, and the same as Pope Leo VIII on the brink of 19th century and 20th century warned about the results of industrial revolution, about unchecked capitalism, about labor exploration. The same is the same as current Pope warned about unchecked AI. AI is the biggest revolution, technological revolution, and maybe societal revolution since the age of internet, or maybe even since the industrial age. And as Paul said, it brings a lot of goods. It can help societies, it can help people, can help healthcare, but it also can, if unchecked, it can have a big harm to the society, which he warns about. And I think Pope, as a person who hundreds of millions of people listen to, is the right voice to raise the concerns when the discussion about AI is mostly framed by AI tech companies who unfortunately often oversight the regulation and the safety just to gain a head start in the market.
Well, the main areas of concern raised by Pope were threats to human dignity, justice, and labor. Well, one could discuss this, right? Artificial intelligence could somehow spare the humans time, for instance, helping them to reduce time needed for many jobs. So why is Pope seeing only the dangers here?
I think they also see the benefits, but yet the dangers are there. You can use AI to better cure the cancer, to get a new medications, but it can be used for surveillance, for government surveillance, like we see in China. It can be used for surveillance of labor and to get people the dignity. And unfortunately, we already saw instances when the AI was biased because it was trained on biased data. And we, as a societies all around the world, have some biases included in our history. And if AI is not trained well, it can multiply these biases when you, as a person, ask for a loan or ask for a credit for a mortgage or about in HR, for example. So, and that's the big danger because the AI can scale really rapidly and it's integrated in multiple things in our society.
Right, scale up is one thing, but also gaining independence is another threat. And let me just quote last concerning research development of artificial intelligence, where a ChatGPT in a recent experiment ignored researchers' commands and refused to shut down simply. So how worrying is this development?
I think it's very worrying. We think we are living in the age where the books or science fiction books which we read maybe 20, 30 years ago and wrote maybe even before are now becoming real. The laws of robotics, the AI rise of independent AI which can then harm the humanity. We are living in the age when this is actually possible. It's not just science fiction. And that's why there need to be human in the loop. There need to be oversight. There need to be safety because, yes, now it was recognized by the research teams. But if AI, which is not perfect, and no technology is perfect, when we see on other technologies, is implemented in the critical high-stake industries, power grids, healthcare, financial solutions. Then if there is no oversight and there is no safety and fallback to have a human actually can turn it off, then we can have such a big problem. And I really don't want to see AI Chernobyl. And with nuclear energy can have a lot of benefits, but if there is not good safety, then it can happen something like Chernobyl, and that's the same with AI, unfortunately. So yeah, it's really concerning, and I think it should be eventually regulated on the large scale, on the UN level, same as we have a World Health Organization, same as we have a regulation for aviation industry, for nuclear industry. We need to have a safety regulation for AI without harming the innovation and the progress.
So do you think that there should be always human control in the critical areas, in critical infrastructure points?
Definitely there should be a fallback, there should be a switch on that. It's not so easy as people imagine that you just turn off some computer, because we are speaking about huge industrial systems. But yes, and it's also not just only because AI can get unsafe, but also because of the cyber attacks. And we live in the world of uncertainty, and the cyber attacks are one of the major points of concern for all the governments, like what would happen. We just recently saw the blackout in Spain and Portugal, what happened when the electric grid get shut down. Imagine this will be done by foreign entity doing attack on your country.
Especially that artificial intelligence doesn't have its own identity and loyalty. So do you think that we're just witnessing the beginning of autonomous artificial intelligence and AI behavior?
And I think we are, and I don't think it's bad. It should just have a negative impact. We already saw bots. We already saw some computer systems which work on their own to make our life easier, and AI can do that as well. We have abundance of intelligence and to make our progress of society better. But yes, that can be also these dangers, and that's why again it's about shaping the technology. The same as industrial technology, in the industrial revolution brought a lot of people out of poverty to the cities, brought cities to grow and more innovation. Without regulation, it also went to exploit the labor. And this is the thing we have the power as a society now to learn from the past mistakes of industrial revolution to make it safe, to make it more regulated, but also to harness the innovation for better of the society.
Right. Another thing is ethical and societal implications of humanoid robots in entertainment and sports. We're just watching one of the fights by two robotic humanoids. So what do you think about this context?
Honestly, I would rather see humanoid robots fighting than see some animals fighting for the pleasure of people. I think this is people have different hobbies and different things they like. I wouldn't mind that. I'm more worried about use of robotics in the war and autonomous robotics in the war. We already see AI use in war in Ukraine. And it can help to defend a country like Ukraine in the front of a large enemy, but it also can harm in the way that if it is not trained well, it can attack civilians. So I wouldn't mind if robots are fighting each other for pleasure of people. I would really mind if we have millions of robots fighting each other for the armies on streets of our cities.
So you can imagine a humanoid army confronting themselves.
Definitely. This, is something about regulations and something about which I'm really worried about. It's hard to regulate now in these days from the nations which are already in the war. But I think there should be some framework. There is a Geneva Convention how to act during the war. I think we need a new Geneva Convention how AI can be deployed in the army, because it's already deployed and it will be deployed. And it can also save human lives, but it also can get very dangerous for all of us, unfortunately.
Very interesting. So do you believe that the governments and the civil society is ready for the kind of conversation? And where are we in this conversation exactly, and in the projection of the future, basically, when we talk about the army of humanoids, for instance?
I welcome that we have this discussion here in the public television. I welcome that there's many forums where this is discussed. And I think we are in the beginning stage where we are finding the balance between innovation, and there is a huge potential to gain to be a leader in the AI. Now the leadership is in the US and in China, and I hope that it will be also in Europe, because there is a lot to gain for that. But also in the society where UN is getting weaker, it's harder to find a place where we can agree all as a world community on what will be the regulation looking like. So I'm very worried that will need to happen something really bad. The same way, unfortunately, the UN happened after Second World War. The regulations on pollution happened after a lot of bad incidents. I'm worried that there need to be something bad happen in the world of AI. So the society get together, and also the industries and also the governments. Now we have an AI Act, and in Europe, which is the furthest we are in AI regulation worldwide. There are some other treaties, non-binding and so on, but it's still not something very effective and something very regulating and stopping things from happening, like autonomous AI.
Well, we are living in the era of thriving of social media, where the political narrative is very easily influenced. So I would like to ask you also quickly, as we have to wrap up, about hate speech and how to eliminate it. I know that Troll Wall AI is focusing on that.
We see from our studies and from our cases, we work with the clients and users from all the nine countries all around Europe, that there is a rise of hate speech, there is a rise of troll, and there is a rise of fake accounts, and mostly during the elections. And now, thanks to the AI, we have foreign entities using AI on the large scale to influence the opinions of people, or to discourage other people's opinions which they don't agree. We see that on the large scale. And now what we can do is to use, of course, tools like us, but also to push governments and push platforms to work on this and to regulate. There is regulation on tobacco industry. There is regulation on automobile industry. There is no proper regulation on algorithms of social media. And the same as Foreign Minister of Poland said once on the conference, I think it's a time to have algorithms of social media regulated and transparent.
Thank you so much, Tomáš Halász. I'll be looking forward to this discussion, and I hope that we will meet again to discuss it in details. Tomáš Halász, co-founder and CEO of Troll Wall AI, thank you so much for this interesting conversation.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for being with us here on World Talks.